No more drinking alcohol. Great, me too. In this video, we're going to be talking about habit tracking and how it can put you on a track towards a better life without the entire focus being on, I want to get sober. My name's Dean. This is my how to quit alcohol journey that I'm inviting people to come and join me on. Habit tracking. There are many people who focus on saying this app is the best or this method is the best. I don't think that any of that matters. People can get caught up in the details of this and focus entirely on the wrong aspect of habit tracking. But it is a powerful tool when used correctly. There are ways that you can do it that will hinder you from making progress, and then there are ways that will help you. I have done both in the past. And today we're going to break apart first the bad stuff quickly and then get onto the good ways of doing this. The bad ways. When quitting alcohol or any bad habit or addiction, you don't want to focus on the problem too much. Instead, you want to be more solution orientated. So when it comes to this process, I don't want to track the actual drinking habit. How many days have I been sober? And this is a very common approach, right? Everybody's like, oh, I've been like 3 days sober. I've been 10 days sober. I've been a month sober. Yay! Instead, let's find a decent replacement habit and track that. As we saw in the first video, in the first exercise, when you're accepting the quest, you want to take an action that marks a different day. This is an extension of that idea that you take on a good habit, and every single day that that habit happens, that good thing happens, is theoretically a day that you didn't drink. If you start tracking eating healthy, reading books, going to the gym, every day that you do that positive attribute is inadvertently also saying this is a day that I didn't participate in the bad habit, in drinking. So instead of going, I quit alcohol for 30 days, you instead say, I've been to the gym for 30 days. That sounds a lot better. It is a lot better. And you know for yourself, you've still got a counter there. But it's a better way to engage with other people and your own mind. The practical action for us here is to implement a tracking system. Now, this can either be on a whiteboard. I've done this very successfully. I quite enjoy that. But I also have used apps, things like Habitshare, Streaks. There's a number of them where you every single day just mark off that you have participated in this positive habit. And that's pretty much it. But I haven't answered the question, why? Why do we want to track this? What are the positive benefits of doing this? Well, there are two. The first one is that you get a record of a positive streak in your life. You get to look back at this thing where there's a green tick, green tick, green tick, green tick, green tick, green tick. And when you see that, it is a self-motivating cycle that makes you feel proud of yourself. And the second part, which may be even more important, is that when you do fall off, you have this positive streak to look back at and say, well, I need to get going again because I don't want too many red ticks in here. For most of us, starting a positive habit isn't really the hard part. It's sticking to it. But the damage happens that when we do fall off because a work meeting made you miss gym, or you've got to go fetch your kids from school, or something throws you off, which is normal life, as we know. And then you feel that sense of, dread, shame, I'm a loser, I haven't been able to keep this up. And the next day you kind of fall off again and again and again. Obviously, if we miss 1 day or even 2 days, it's not the end of the world. It's not like if I go to gym for months and months and months and I start building muscle and I miss a whole week, that those muscles are just going to disappear. Obviously not. But when we fall off, it sometimes takes us weeks, sometimes months to get back to starting again. And that's when we do lose the progress. So obviously you want to start again as soon as possible. And when you have this record to say, oh, well, I've been doing it for this long, losing just a day, just seeing that one tick, it's not so bad. But I will say, if you're new to this and you've never done habit tracking, it doesn't just happen like that. You have to practice this as a mindset. You have to accept that failure is part of the process, and an occasional red tick is not the end of the world. You have to deliberately think about that and accept that. Otherwise, yes, you can look at that one tick and say, oh, I blew my perfect streak. I'm a loser. I'm not going back to it. That can also happen, so beware of that. Another point where you can fail with this, as I have in the past, is that you can put too many things in your list. You can start up this system and get very excited and enthusiastic, and then after a week it just ends. You fall off and you wonder why you were doing so well and you can't keep up. Well, it's because you've overloaded yourself. Every person has a perfect habit stack amount. And the newer you are, the smaller that stack needs to be. What that means is if you're starting out, add sort of one habit, maybe two, and just mark those off for a little while. When you feel like, you know what, I could stop marking this and I'm not going to give up on that. It's just I'm going to keep going. That's when you can add in something new. And you keep going and you keep going. And even this has a limit. Some people will stop at 7, some people at 9. It depends really on you. I know my limit's around 8. If I add more than 8 things, it's over. Like I lose all the habits at that point. So I build up from 4 over a few weeks up to 8, and then I just hold there, stay there. And it's important then also to find that you have a nice balance of different habits across the areas of your life. But that is a topic for another video in another time. Right now, just take 1, maybe 2 good habits like eating well, doing some reading, getting off that social media, so doing something positive for your mind, and also exercising. And those are the 3 things that I'm doing. Exercise, I'm doing pretty good. Eating, I could improve just a little bit, so I'm going to be tracking my healthy meals and smoothies. And then the third one is I want to at least read 3 times a week. That's all for this video. I want to keep them short. I want to keep them practical. In summary, that is track a good habit instead of the bad habit. Then get a habit tracker that is either digital or on a whiteboard that you can see the streak of positive habits happening in your life. And if you do fall off, accept that and get back up on the horse as quickly as possible, relying on that long positive streak to motivate you and keep you in a positive upward spiral. Thanks for watching. My name's Dean. This is my personal channel, sharing my personal story about my history with alcohol and alcohol abuse. And I'm making this series of videos to both hold myself accountable to this journey of sobriety, but also helping other people along the way. So if you're interested, let me know in the comments. You also feel free to subscribe. This is the type of content that's going to be coming out on this channel for the next while. It will change in the future, just to let you know. We will do other things, but the next videos, the next 10, 20 videos are going to be on this subject. I have a lot more to share, a lot more experience of what worked and what definitely didn't work.